Welcome to Hopper's Hot Rods. Today we install some rings.
What the hell are you doing?
No, you said I was going to install a set of rings.
I was talking about piston rings.
Oh. Okay.
Would you get in there? Thank you. Good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. First thing we're going to do is see if this battery will take a charge. Start the process by even seeing what we got here on the old battery charger. Let's find out together, shall we? Battery, extender, analyzing. Since it's in the trunk, they call it analyzing. 12 volts, 65%. All right, we will let this thing charge up. While the battery's charging, I'll get all my tools cleaned and organized and set up a little workbench there, and we'll figure out what the next step of the puzzle is. First plug, first problem. This plug part was bent over and broken and corroded, and it was on this large red wire, so it's probably an important one. We're going to have to sort of rig something, but keep in mind, this is get it running, not restore it to factory. So we're gonna drill this out, put a new fitting on here. There's a little bit of slack so we can slip it through this bulkhead fitting, plug it in, and then plug the rest of the plug in around it. I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna start by selecting a drill bit that is roughly the same size as the wire. That looks pretty close. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Then I'm just going to make enough clearance in this plug to get the wire to slide through. So I got a little hole in there now. The way I knock the insulation off these things, especially if I'm going to do a bunch of them, which on this project it looks like there's a bit of wiring, I just grab a drift punch out of a little set that fits inside this insulation, and I open the vise up to the right width. There, it knocked right out. It's overkill, but if you're gonna do several, it's nice to be able to just knock them out really quickly. So that's how I do that. And it leaves you with a nice uninsulated terminal, which is what I wanted. There, we clipped it down so we can get to some better wire. Now that that's through there, we'll strip a little bit back. Just enough for a good connection. Always slip on a bit of heat shrink. Then we'll crimp it and we'll drop it. Okay, I'm gonna try to orient the connector in the proper direction here. Slip that on and crimp it down. We'll shrink the heat shrink. Keeps it from getting moisture in there. And all right, get the heat shrink done. Pull it backwards into the plug. It lines up nicely in the stock configuration. So let's see if I can get this plugged in to the bulkhead fitting. Before I make the connection, I'm going to clean it with some electrical contact cleaner. it cleans and seals and protects and helps remove corrosion. And get the loom back on there and pull this slack wire out. All right. Okay, our battery's fully charged. I checked around under the hood for anything that might cause us a problem. So we're going to go ahead and confidently connect the positive battery cable like such. Okay, now we will go and see if anything's on fire. So far, so good. Yeah, no, I don't smell anything. I don't see anything arcing. All right, great. When I touch this, we get the test light to come on. I have connected a trigger wire to the starter solenoid. So when I squeeze the trigger, good sound. All right, I'm going to spin the engine over. I'm putting my thumb over the spark plug hole and listen for the hiss of air to pass by. Couldn't miss it. Now we will see how close we are to the timing mark, which is over here. Oh man, I nearly got it perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Down here. What the hell? Don't go anywhere. Now you can see it. That is almost perfect. Almost perfectly in line. Well, I was just trying to find all the wiring and inventory all the parts, and it has turned into a project of vacuuming out all the acorns and stuff from in the trunk where there were some boxes of loose parts. It's hard to keep moving in a linear fashion on a project, but we'll keep going. Still wiring. Well, you might as well enjoy this little bit of the torture with me. I came under here to find a switched ignition wire, and I found a lot of corrosion. I don't know if you can see this green stuff on the fuse panel. And then the modular plug here is burnt, broken, and taped together, but it's loose. Somebody's tapped into the wires a couple of times, and it's just gotten pretty crunchy in here. The inside of that is burnt. Okay, see, this one's on when you turn the ignition on, but when you start it, it goes off. We have to have one that stays lit while you're trying to start it. This one only lights up when you're trying to start it. So it must be in this harness up here. So I'm going to work on that. And that's just the puzzle. I have to go through them systematically. And okay, after spending a little too long overthinking everything, I've decided that we're going to get this thing running, not do a factory restoration. So I have run a wire inside the vehicle that's going to be on a toggle switch to activate everything ignition related that we need. So there's going to be a relay right here for all our switched power. We'll have our constant power right here. And it's going to, not only is it going to run, yes, it's going to run. All right, here we go with the plugging in of the stuff on the thing. So that'll go like that, that'll be fine. Put some lube on that once we get it running. Meanwhile, let's just get this thing mounted right here. Easy. I wanted to mention, as I was cleaning up and getting organized, I got all my goodies from O'Reilly's. I picked up another relay in case we need one for the fuel pump, some different fittings that I need, and a heavy duty toggle switch to turn everything on. It's rated for 35 amps, and we're going to put a nice inline fuse, so our master power switch will be on a fuse so that if anything rubs on anything, the car won't burn down. That's important to have on there. This, in fact, is the inline fuse. The other thing I was going to mention is that this is a 73 Challenger. Earlier in the video I said it was a 72, and I don't want Mark Warman to have a heart attack or anybody else to freak out that I said the wrong year. I believe it's a 73, not a 72. But either way, it's still really cool. And let's dive back into this project. I actually took a break, unbeknownst to you. I took a break overnight, and we're getting close to doing the next thing. And we've got a pretty decent we're out of butane, son of a bitch. Okay, we're down to heat shrinking the last few connections for the ignition system. I've been routing wires and heat shrinking and putting wire loom on stuff, and it's been a couple of hours. It's cold, but I figure if I get this thing running, it's probably going to be like this for a few years before anybody else rewires the whole vehicle, so I might as well do it top notch, use good loom, good connections, route things neatly, because we're not just trying to get it across town, we're trying to make it to where it's ready for the street for a while. So you use an ohm meter, and what you're checking is the resistance of the primary and secondary windings. And right now I'm checking the resistance of cursing and throwing small parts across the shop, trying to get the nut started on this thing. There we go. Okay, the ignition system is in. The next piece of the puzzle is going to be the new fuel injection, and that is, I'll give you a sneak peek. Aha! It's the Phytech EFI. This is going to make it run and drive just fine. It's a decent system. Some people like the Holley a little bit better. They're a little bit more expensive. This is going to be fine. It just needs to fire up, start, and run good, and that's what this will do. So next video, this goes on and this hits the road, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Thank you for watching. Next video coming soon.